Hello, my name is Mrs. Cogswell, and I'll be your child's calculus survey teacher this year. So, Calc Survey is an applied calculus course, and we use the M119 curriculum on the IU Bloomington campus. And it's an awesome math course where we'll use business concepts and life science concepts to help students see how the calculus is used. But we'll also at the same time make sure that they have a very good foundation of calculus skills as we learn through applications. So they'll never ask why they're learning something in this course. And I also teach AP Calculus AB, and I will often use the applications we do in Calc Survey to help my AB students better understand and see how those calculus skills are used in other subjects aside from just physics. So it's an awesome course. And your child can decide if they want to take it for ACP credit, and that's the dual credit where they would get 3 credit hours on their IU Bloomington transcript. And usually about 90% of students decide to take it for the ACP credit. And all the students will get a Carmel grade, and if they choose to take it for the ACP credit, they'll also get an IU grade. And all the students will take the IU midterm and IU final exam. And if you have any questions about that, please let me know. Your child, we talked in class, they're supposed to go home and discuss with you whether or not they should take it for IU credit. But if you have questions, please email me. My student expectations, when they come into the classroom, they're expected to turn their cell phone in. That's kind of their mental check-in to class. So they turn their cell phone in, they come in, sit down. They're usually sitting with a partner. We frequently work in small groups on just problem solving. When they're in my classroom, we're doing math. We usually go from bell to bell, and I expect them to be committed, engaged, and to make sure they're communicating. And I don't ever want them to hesitate if they have questions. I want this to be a very comfortable environment where they can enjoy learning the calculus concepts. So in this course we use Canvas, and in Canvas they can find their homework solutions, the notes completed, and any worksheets that we've done in class. That's where they'll also find their check your understandings. So when they go home, they're supposed to do their textbook homework, check their answers, and then do a check your understanding that's linked with each section. So most college math courses are now doing some type of online submission of homework. So I try to treat this like a college level course. So those check your understandings is their online submission that they've done homework outside of classroom. And I always ask at the end of the year for feedback, and students from previous years always say the check your understandings were very helpful. They didn't particularly enjoy them throughout the year, but they realized by the end of the year how beneficial they were. And the check your understandings, they're only 4 questions. They're not meant to be mean. They're just meant to literally have them check their understanding. I also have a YouTube channel that I created during COVID, so I've linked all of those videos. So if your child ever misses class, or maybe there's a concept they didn't quite grasp, or just want to hear me explain it again, that's what those videos are good for. And then we will use graphing calculators, but I told students they're welcome to use the graphing calculators that I have in my classroom. And then at home, I would encourage them just to use Desmos on the internet. That should be perfectly fine. We'll practice enough in the classroom where they should be good to go. But if they'd like to purchase one, they're welcome to. So how I grade this course, 15% is formative. Formative is homework, check your understandings, quizzes, any in-class assignments we do. And then 85% is summative, and those are the tests. Usually we'll have 4 tests first semester, and we'll have 4 tests second semester. And I try to make the tests very similar to how IU structures the exams, so students are ready for that IU midterm and that IU final exam. They are allowed relearning, so if on a test they want to retake a test, they are allowed to retake it if they've completed those check your understandings. That's proof for me to see that they've done something outside of the classroom to prepare for their test. They needed to be engaged in class. This usually is never an issue. But if it is, I will have informed you first that we're having some issues. Maybe they're sleeping or but usually this is not an issue. And then they need to have shown genuine effort on the original assessment. But if they meet all those requirements, they are allowed to retake the test. The only part to note is retakes cannot be applied in the IU calculation of the IU grade. So IU's pretty adamant that no retakes are allowed. So just for their Carmel grade, can I use those retake scores? And I'll remind students of that. And I always remind students, you're not taking a test trying to retake it. Let's take the test the first time and do the best you possibly can. So, but I think retakes sometimes, especially in calculus, concepts can get ahead of you. This course can move a little fast at times when we're doing some harder concepts. So I'm 100% okay with retakes. And if you ever have any concerns, if you see your students struggling with math at home, and please reach out, please let me know. Or if there's something going on at home that's maybe they're exhausted when they're coming to school and you think that that is causing issues, don't hesitate to let me know. I would love to support. I'm going to support your student the best I can. I want them to enjoy math. I want this to be a safe and enjoyable class that they come to and want to come to. So, but I look forward to having them in class. I look forward to getting to know them. And I hope this is a great school year. Thanks so much.